Hello, people, and I don't make video because no reason to. Anyways, I have reason to make video today. Hope everybody is doing well, and this is what I've been up to lately as far as printing things. So this is it's going to be trying to do like an herb garden. Um, it's going to be all automated, hopefully. And so this is not about the herb garden or what this is going to be. It's more of along the lines of tuning your printer. Um, it's a pretty extreme circumstance, and this is a very good example of two pieces that were the exact same slice, exact same G code, all that. So this is a 0.28 layer height, and I mean already you can kind of see some differences here. So I've been printing with, this is on Ender 3, basic Ender 3. There's some couple of started developing problems. I have the Capricorn Bowden tube. And if you've had your printer for long periods of time, you'll understand, if you haven't experienced it, that your hot end and your heat break, there's like a glue inside of your filament, or some type of, I don't know, adhesive or something in there. And every time you get a retraction, it kind of works the gooey filament into the back up into the nozzle. And then, I mean, if you picture this as your nozzle, it will go in here, and this is your Capricorn tube. It has to be a good mating fit between, it has to butt up tight against your nozzle to your tube, and you don't want any space in there because it will exacerbate this problem quickly. But anyway, what happens is the glue kind of seeps up around the tube and gets up in your heat break and your what are they called? The heat sink, right, where the fan is cooling it, so you're not melting your whole system down. It gets a lot of glue in there, and the glue will kind of it will just fill up inside of the plastic tube as well. So bad to the point where eventually your filament won't even run to it anymore. It's just turns into gummy mess in there. So you gotta take it apart and clean it. So what I had to do, obviously, is first I was just trying to make it work, because I didn't want to tear the whole machine apart and go through it. But it ended up being a full tune-up. I went through the whole machine. So this is a difference between like this is the closest. I think that this was the last thing that's successfully printed before I tuned it. Right, this is the first print after I tuned it. Like I say, you can already see some differences. And a 0.28 layer height is a very good way to show you. It exaggerates all your problems. Now, this, to me, is near, I don't know if you can get an Ender to print any better than this. We have a little bit of, I suppose this would be considered just Z. I probably fixed this in the slicer. But in here you have flat. They're not flat, they're like troughs, so they'll drain out. Water drains through these, but it kind of shows through on the outside. So I run a thicker wall, inner walls, just for strength, and then I run a thinner outer wall so it gets good detail. But now you can see just at these certain layers where you'll get that sort of bulging. But if you look at these are very, this is a very, very clean print for an Ender 3. This is after everything was tightened up, and I switched out the Bowden tube, had to be corrected, the problem. So this is pretty clean. And you can look at this one, and you can see like waviness, maybe like ringing. Let's move it maybe in a more lit situation here. There we go. Over here it's really bad. Let's see if I can get a good view of this. But I mean, even still, this isn't bad. But there, that's a good angle to get. You can see there's some ringing towards the top. In here it looks like a wood grain. So this is, I after, right, we can compare exactly spot for spot. I mean, there's no ringing, none, in this gray piece. Well, I mean, I suppose like a tiny bit. Versus here, where it's really bad. And then all these specks are where it's a Z, the seam where it's changing layers. But I mean, it's some subtle things you have to. But anyways, the point of the video is just the difference the print makes when I tightened all the pulleys, I tightened all the belts. These are all, the belt is very, I mean, I suppose to get the good details, you want your belt to be, really, I mean, some play in it. But this is tight. I've tightened all the belts to tight. And the gantry has very little play in it. I made sure my Z screw was, I had a different filament guide and I changed that. So everything was gone through on this Ender 3. And you can see it produced a better result. I mean, in person it looks much better than, and the white and the gray is hard to tell. These are the same brand of filaments. I understand that filaments color can cause issues, but just the difference in the quality between a tuned printer and a not tuned printer is very noticeable. And this goes for all printers. It's not just an Ender 3. It's every printer needs tuning and needs to have its adjustments done, and you need to go through and make sure it's doing very well. But I mean, you can kind of just the light reflecting, you can see how it's just not, this is a little bit sloppy, where this is just a lot more precision. And so just that alone was impressive to me. And this Ender 3, it impresses me every time I play with it. It's pretty much the only one. Here's my my supports. I mean, this one's a little bit harder to get out of here, but just awesome. I love printing with this Ender 3. It's easy to to understand, and it's simple enough, and it's cheap to work on, and then, like, I mean, parts are so cheap. It's slow, but you get really good results, and I like printing with it. So, but I'll do a final video when all this thing is up and running. And anyways, have a good day, people, and thanks for watching.